Hello everybody, welcome to Rewrite Your Reality with Reese. I am your host, and on today's video, the infinite abundance starts with a step toward you. Now, section 1, ground, I exist. The question came up, which is basically the very first question you usually ask yourself in terms of manifesting, reality creation, spirituality, awakening, all of that. And it's the fundamental question that you kind of see in all of these spiritual texts and books and videos and this and that. So, what is it? Who is the I that wants to know itself or keeps identifying with the physical self? Basically, who am I? And you feel this question. You feel it even if you don't really word it in that way. Which, by the way, when you do feel your physical self, there's nothing wrong with identifying with your physical self. You're projecting it. You couldn't not have some physical identity and identification with your physical self. Because if you didn't, you wouldn't be here physically. You'd go far there, right? Now, the idea is to know that the duality of your own awareness, of being awareness, projecting the physical, is one experience flowing from one to another instantly. So while you are not the physical self in the way that you think you are, like this is my physical objective experience of reality, you are projecting and experiencing it through that physical reality. It's kind of like, if you are, this is a really cool example that popped in. If you are browsing your gallery on your phone, when you are looking at a certain picture, the whole screen is being that picture, but you know it's not the only picture. So while your screen is identifying with being that picture, it also knows it's every other picture. So while it's being that physical picture, it's being that picture. It's experiencing itself as the screen, as that picture, and you are experiencing it. The moment you choose to focus on another picture, it shifts because you shift it, obviously. But I'm just talking about within the phone's point of view. Now, that I that you are, before you even say your own physical name, the awareness that exists regardless of the body you have or don't have. Keeping it light. If you cut your hair, you're no less than who you are, right? You're just experiencing a version of you with less hair now. So always start with I exist. When you're asking yourself this question, I exist, I am, you simply exist. Now this picture, these pictures, we're going to go through it very slowly, right? So we experience our physical self, asking that question, who am I? You know, be it a woman, man, whatever, whoever you are. You're sitting there and there's a crowd going on around you. There's even other people who are asking the same question, and you are experiencing yourself asking the question, and you are experiencing yourself experiencing other people ask the question, and then a large majority of a crowd that you're surrounded by, the rest of the world, not necessarily bothering going about something or other, right? Now, this is how we perceive things. We think that we are this physical body, and our physical experience, even though we can see ourselves in our own mind asking the question, we can see the whole crowd asking the question, we can see another person asking the question, we can even hear ourselves as if it's here, the question here, when we say, who am I, as if it was here, right? Asking that question. All of it happening as if it's our 3D experiencing of it. Now, while that might be an experience, it is actually more akin to how it looks on the screen. You see, you are that awareness in which all of that's happening. So even though you know that there's a crowd, you know you're sitting there, you know you're asking the question, you know you think that it's all happening in my mind, you know that you are experiencing saying the question and you are hearing it. You know that when you close your eyes, when you open them, you have this 3D point of view looking And then when you close them, you have this question flying around your mind, who am I? And then you're projecting this image in your own awareness, again, of your physical self, doing the same thing that you would be seeing if you were to open your eyes. That's exactly how we go about feeling this, right? But this is who you really are. You are this blank slate awareness, the one knowing the question that you are asking. Because your knowing of the question is the asking of the question. Now, this is a really simple explanation here. So try to feel it. Don't logic it. Try to feel it. Right? You are the awareness in which whatever you contemplate becomes form. So when you are contemplating the question, who am I? Your verbalization, your awareness of the question itself, whether you verbalize it or you just hear that inner voice saying, who am I? That is the contemplated form of yourself as the question that you are knowing. It really does help to be still and know that you are God and you are doing this. So be still and know that you are God while you are doing this. And as that form, you experience the question. Now, because you were knowing that question, and then you became aware of what you were knowing, which is already the answer of who I am. Because when you ask yourself the question, who am I? When you know that you have asked yourself the question, who am I? I am the one giving form to my own knowing. I am existence itself. You see, basically, when you decided to know the question, who am I? You wanted to know this question. You asked yourself this question. Whatever reasoning you decided to focus on this question, you gave it form in your own recognition of the question. But who gave it form? You did. It's you. It's you as the form of whatever you were contemplating. And it just so happened you were contemplating the question, who am I? But because you are looking for an answer, you don't realize that it is the answer. When you contemplated something and it came into your existence, it came into its own existence, it came into existence of your own recognition of it. It came in from yourself. You are the one knowing it. So if you know who am I, you are knowing who am I. And if you know I am, you know I am. Because whatever you focus on takes form within your own awareness as your own awareness. So you are the one that gives form to whatever you're contemplating. I'm going to say it again quickly. I'm going to say it again just to really sink this. Whatever you contemplate as who am I, right? If you're contemplating the who am I question, the fact that you are even recognizing yourself, asking the question, who am I, in whatever shape, way, and form, words, saying it out loud, writing it. It came into form in your own awareness for you to recognize it, but it's coming into form is showing you the answer of who you are, which is the knowing that gives form to what you are knowing. That's who you are. That's who you are. That is who you are. That is absolutely who you are. You are existence of form by knowing. Now, that was pretty deep there. Now, section 2, experiencing. Whatever you are aware of is taking place in your awareness. That is yours. In your own awareness. Only yours. Not anyone else's, just yours. So whatever you think that they are thinking or anyone else is thinking is actually only ever happening in your awareness. They're not there's no version of them that you are looking at that is thinking something else other than whatever it is you are being aware of in the moment as your reality. Because you are always seeing a snapshot of a singular moment of infinity where everything branches off infinitely. So if you are looking at somebody, you are basically in your awareness looking at yourself and them. So you're basically, as awareness, looking at yourself and that person as awareness. So if there was somebody in this frame with me, the frame holds two people, but it has no meaning. But it's only one snapshot of reality. It branches off into infinity in every single moment, and you are only seeing your version of that infinity. You're only ever seeing your version. You don't see what someone else's choice is that has nothing to do with whatever choice you made. You won't. You just won't. You are not seeing 99.999999% of reality because you're only ever seeing your choices. And I don't mean you're not seeing it because it's happening outside your door. I mean you are literally not seeing its existence. Its existence is not shown to you in your awareness. When I say in your awareness, I don't mean like you don't know what's behind my hand. No, not that. Like literally not there within your awareness. It exists, but it's not for you. But your conscious awareness of it. So all thoughts, feelings, people coming and going, the ideas, circumstances that you call that, the conditions that you call that, the past, the present, the future ideas you have, it's all happening in your awareness. Since it's happening in your awareness, it's happening in your knowing of it. You are the one knowing it. Your knowing of it and it being there is happening as one motion without gap, without delay, but knowing happens first. Knowing is first cause of it coming, but there's no delay between it coming. You simultaneously do it because there's no such thing as time. And that sounds a bit odd where you know something and then you become aware of it. Like if you know a sentence, you generally know the entire sentence before you even become aware of what the entire thing is that you said. But it's your knowing immediately and the expression of that first. The longer the expression, the more you can see, hey, wait, I knew what I was expressing beforehand. The shorter the expression, you don't even notice that it's a one-to-one. Ironically, when it's longer, you realize, oh no, I knew this entire thing first. I couldn't experience it like that because it just took a longer time to experience the knowing of it. Pick a favorite movie. 2 hours long. You know the whole thing, but you have to experience it over the 2 hours. It's like that. You know the entirety of it. You know every line. You know every scene. You know every little whatever, but you have to experience it over 2 hours. So even though you know the whole thing, just like your higher self knows the whole reality you desire to experience, you know the whole thing. You have to experience it one by one, moment by moment, without delay. You're seeing the text and knowing it, just like how you're seeing the text on the screen here. It's happening at once because we think the text was there first. We believe it is the cause. See, very often when you're unconscious, you believe that the text you are seeing is first because, well, it must be. I'm looking at it and then I was thinking about looking at it. But it's not. It's awareness first. Even if the text was seemingly created elsewhere, your awareness on it now is a new frame. Because the text that you're looking at now is actually a continuously changing text over the unfolding of all of us looking at it. It's new every moment. The text is literally, the text is the same text, but the same text is actually a new version of that same looking text in every single moment. So yeah, this is what's going on. You see that black box is the greater awareness. Just imagine that is everything. Everything that ever was, everything that ever is, everything that we consider will be, but already exists. See, we know the idea of 100 years from now, we know it exists. We just don't know what it looks like. We have ideas of what it looks like. And those ideas pan out. Those ideas exist. It exists right now in that way. And we are experiencing the versions of ourselves who believe they look like that. But all of it exists now. So that expression may look however we think it looks, but for the actual experiencing of it, it'll look completely different in that time period. So, you, that blue amorphous awareness. By the way, there's no size here, but I have to depict nothingness somehow to show separation, which is ironically what Source is doing, right? So you are that blue awareness in which all of these ideas are taking place. Your physical 3D self, the thoughts that you're having, the crowds that you are experiencing, the words you are saying, all of it's happening within your awareness. And you are choosing from the infinite scripts of what you are experiencing. Those infinite scripts, those infinite frames of reality, they just create your singular experience of reality. Anybody else in your reality is not experiencing your experience of reality. They are branching off into infinity in their own awareness. All happening within that greater awareness, but none of them are affecting you. You see, if you have a person in your reality, you go on with that person. But from any point, that person is still awareness from their point of view, and they are branching off continuously, forever. So while they don't affect you, you don't affect the rest of their infinite beingness. And if there is a version of them that you interact with, it's not even that you do this. You're just calling forth another version of reality where you interact with their physical form, and it also just branches off. That's how reality doesn't interfere with each other, but we're all one experience. So when you know focus, your entire awareness becomes it. And your focused physical self is the identity that experienced it, one-to-one. Everyone else is doing the same thing from their point of view. You don't fix or change or do anything with that awareness projecting that infinite being infinitely at all. One of those infinite beings already interacts with you. All you are doing is in your awareness calling forth that version of reality in your awareness. It already exists. The physical form is already there. Your awareness gives motion to it, but it's just there. Not in your reality, but as their own. Just like how you can have a movie on your table. It's not playing, but it's there. The entirety of it it's not playing, but it is there. Your awareness gives motion to it. That's why you don't ever interfere with anybody. It just looks like you are doing this because you are always giving motion to everything in your awareness that you are physically seeing. You're already emoting it. But when you imagine, you're shifting your focus and emoting something else. When I say emoting, I don't mean like, I mean energetic motion to it. Now, conscious creation here, right? In your imagination, in your imagination, or what we call imagination, you can see clearly when you are still and consciously choose to imagine or know something into being, or into your imagination to experience it, you can see that what fills your imagination comes from you and what you choose to know. It wasn't made by anything else in your imagination except imagination itself. Everything on the screen is not physical in the way that we believe physicality to be. It's all made from energy. It's all made from electricity. Everything on the screen that you're looking at is made by the same substance, even if the substance that it is depicting is different. This might be flesh, this might be metal, I think it's metal. This might be glass, this might be fiber, that might be plastic, brick, cotton. While that's all an experience of reality on the screen, it is made by the same substance altogether. Even the sound is made by the same thing. No matter how different the sound is, it's all made from the same thing. Energy. It's literally staring at you in the face. Your imagination is doing that on a cosmic, substanceless, infinite way. So now you can see everything in your imagination. People, events, circumstances, emotions, story. It's literally all you. The substance that you are, which is the substanceless knowing. And here's the thing. It's actually really logical when you put it like that. Like it's not a, whether you believe it or not, it's not actually a very out there thing. It's actually quite simple. Like the simplicity of reality creation isn't actually grandiose. It's like, hey, whatever you are imagining as your own being. That's it. That's literally it. I could have summed it up with that. I just did. So if it's created from your own knowing, including your physical viewpoint, including the thoughts and the feelings you call forth consciously or on purpose, then it must only be created from your knowing of it. Your beingness, your very substance. And when knowing gives beingness to something. And we can even observe this in 3D experiencing of reality. In quantum physics, something's state changes when you observe it, because it's a mirror of what reality is already doing. Your observation of it as awareness is giving it light. A beingness, sorry, not light, but yeah, light too. Now this is you as a reflection of yourself as awareness itself. So whatever you're looking at in your awareness, whatever you're observing as awareness, is you, because the only thing you can't observe is you as the observer. My phone screen can't see itself. It has to know what it's showing. Just like, it's literally the same thing. I love technology because it has to mimic reality creation, which is quite funny. So whatever you are knowing is you, but not necessarily in this way where if you come across somebody who cuts you off in traffic and you want to fling something at the guy or girl, it doesn't mean your anger and their ineptness to drive is actually you being that. That's just one experience within you that you can continuously experience. That's what it means. It doesn't mean you don't know how to drive or you keep experiencing that. People get that everyone is you pushed out thing very mixed up with what it actually means. Now, it's the only way knowing can know itself, by experiencing itself in a mirror that is itself. Completely, whenever it knows another part of itself. So when you know a sunrise, when you're knowing money, when you're knowing a specific love, person, whatever, you are knowing a version of your sunrise. You're knowing a version of all the money you have. You're knowing the version of that specific person that is already with you, and that physical form that you are with them as reality right now. It just exists. See, nothing that exists within it is created or was created that is not made of it. I believe that is a scripture that I accidentally wrote there, and I just realized, as I said it now, I realized what it was. Made of you. Your knowing calls forth what you are choosing to know, made from you, the creator. There's no one else. Now, time and experiencing as cause. And regardless of whether it's a remembered 3D frame from a moment ago, a year ago, a moment from now, a year from now, it's all experienced in your knowing. Just like how this video, you know the entirety of it exists in the same place. You know that you experienced the first 20 minutes ago, but where's that all existing? Now. You know the entirety of it exists now. I haven't even finished the video yet while recording, but I know the finishing of it exists now. I'm just experiencing it. It's all experienced in your knowing of it. First, and as the cause of it. Your cause is knowing first, awareness first, consciousness first, same thing. Returning into your own conscious awareness by calling it, by knowing it, or purposefully choosing it to imagine it. Therefore, since it is only ever your knowing creating everything, everything must be created from the same beingness as you. In different form, infinity taking shape. So here's this idea here again, because somebody asked about the past stuff. Calling for the past is recreating it from the script that is similar to what you are knowing. So you're not actually calling forth a past, or the past that you would think you're remembering. You have the awareness of a physical form, and you're calling it again with the idea past 5 years ago, right now into your own awareness in some manner for your experiencing of it. So it doesn't really matter. It's new, but you think it's old because it looks the same as the whatever you are considering old thing that you experienced. But it's new, but you're just calling it again. It's like how you get a remake of a movie. It's the same movie, just remade new, and sometimes you like it, sometimes you don't. So the physical experience and imaginal recreation, right? You experience an identity, it has a past, present, and future all existing right now. But that past, present, and future, it's only relative to itself in the timeline. Past and present literally is only relevant to itself in the timeline of experiencing. 10 minutes ago when I was talking, that was present to that 10 minutes ago version of myself. This version was future to the 10 minutes ago version. From the 10 minutes ago version when I started, it was past. But when you are listening to the video, it seems like it's present in every single moment, because time, again, is relative to itself. It's not relative to anything else. The experiencing of time is relative to whatever you are making it relative to. Outside its relativity, it means nothing. You call forth a similar identity with a completely different new timeline when you remember it unconsciously, or a new timeline altogether when you consciously call it forth in the way you desire to have experienced it. Because now you're saying, I desire to have experienced it in this way, now this is who I am. And in reality, which is recreating in this cyclical idea, recreates it in that way. So last but not least here, infinity wholeness. If the shape infinity takes is you and everything else, you must be infinity by simply being one with it. Because infinity cannot be broken down into pieces without it still being infinity. If you chop infinity in half, and infinity is a continuous expression of itself, then you have two halves of infinity that just continue. So if you acknowledge infinity exists, and you are experiencing infinity, and you are a part of that infinity, that must mean you are a whole infinity on your own, no separate from anything. So it means you are infinity, experiencing yourself as infinity, regardless of how big or small you think you are. And if you are one of those pieces, you must be the whole. Experiencing yourself as a viewpoint to experience whatever part you are focused on as the whole, because you are imagining it within your own awareness. As imagining is only purposefully moving your awareness into and as what you desire it to be, as it's made from the same substance as awareness, knowing to form. So that is the answer to who I am. I am the person who's giving form to the question that I'm asking. I am your host, Reese. This is Reach Your Reality with Reese. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for the question as well. Quite a wonderful one. I really got to unpack it in a different way. Enjoyed it quite a bit. Much love, much light. Thank you for liking. Thank you for being here. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for the questions. Thank you for joining the TikTok page. Thank you for joining the YouTube page. Thank you for joining the Facebook page. Thank you for the emails. Thank you for reaching out. And I will see you all in the next one.